Hello, darlings, and welcome to Digimon Ghost Game. This is the podcast that lives in your shadow. It follows you around everywhere and copies all your movements exactly. And it's just kind of here making noises in your ears for maybe about an hour every week. I'm Emery. My pronouns are he, she, they.
I'm Morg. My pronouns are they, them. I'm reading this off of a teleprompter because I'm not actually Morg. I'm Elvire. My pronouns are she, they. I didn't prepare a joke. That's okay, I just pulled mine out of my ass, so.
Same.
My shadow stole mine. Damn.
Hey, spooky episode this week.
Yeah,
they did a scary one.
I love shit like this that's just, like, unnerving in, like, a very particular way, and, like, doppelgangers, like, stealing your fucking likeness is one of those ways. Yeah, it's the good shit. Also, like, at first, before we were like, oh, they're in the past, or, like, they're in different time things, I thought they were in, like, a different zone, and so, like, all the staticky people were, like, I was like, oh, they clipped through into the back rooms. That's what happened. I also had that kind of thought. They clipped, like... They found the glitch in the system, and now they're stuck in, like, the background. Yeah. And they can move through walls and stuff. I was like, fuck, shit.
Yeah, this is some real speedrunner creepypasta. When you go out of bounds and you see a fucking shadow guy that turns into your character and makes your character turn into them.
It also is very, did either of you play The 1,000-Year Door? Paper Mario The 1,000-Year Door?
I have not.
No, I haven't. Damn. Okay, well, I'll just quickly be like, there's a chapter in the game where you, like, have a mistaken identity because someone takes your place and you're like a spooky shadow. That's like the basic.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. When I played it as a kid, it scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my god. I'm fake.
Actually, before we get into the episode, I have a couple pieces of business I wanted to cover. First up, there was I recorded an extra little bit in the last episode and sort of tacked it in there, but I wanted to get both of your takes on the fact that we kind of maybe saw some kids helping Digimon evolve without even using Digivices.
Oh yeah, that was so cool. I thought that was cool. I think it kind of reminds me of Tamers in that way. Like, although in that one, like, you get a Digivice kind of, like, even if you aren't originally, like, one of the original kids with it, you, like, if you, like, bond with the Digimon, you get a Digivice. So this is a little different from that, in that they just, like, do it. Do you think they're stuck like that? Do you think it's kind of like, oh, they don't reverse back like they would? I wonder if the bracelets just make it easier to make that connection, because in this canon, the bracelets are a gift from Hokuto. So we can sort of assume they're not natural things. Like, in the original adventure, they just sort of appear, right? Those things? The Digivices just appear, right?
In Adventure, they actually are manufactured, but you don't find that out until, like, way late in the series.
I didn't. I forgot all about that. Never mind that, then. Because I was like, yeah, maybe everybody can have a Digimon. Maybe I could get a Digimon in this universe.
Not only the Digivices are manufactured, but also the Digimon themselves, which is kind of funny when you think about it.
Very upsetting to think about. Very upsetting to think about. I'm gonna just scrap that bit of information from my brain. If that's all right with everyone.
Genai made some living weapons. It's fine.
Normal. Good.
Well, now they're parents, and they should raise these children well.
True.
Because these are sentient beings. I know that this is also the plot of Digimon Ghost. Digimon, which game did I play? Cyber Sleuth.
Cyber Sleuth?
Yeah, because it's heavily implied there that they're not sure if the Digimon are real or if someone made them, which I thought was very interesting. But in the case of like Ghost Game, I feel like it's more like, I like it when we step away from the whole they're chosen to be like this and they're special, because I feel like this makes them just 3 kids who just happen to be in the center of it and not because they're like destined to save the world. I love me some regular old heroes that could be anyone.
For sure, yeah. And I think it's interesting because like I noted, it kind of seems like all of the functions of the Digivice can be like naturally replicated. That kind of gives me the suggestion that like humans and Digimon are already predisposed to forming bonds with one another, which is cool. And yeah, like going back to the Tamers thing of just like anyone can partner with a Digimon, Tamers kind of created that possibility, but then didn't really show us really any examples of that outside of the main cast, with like maybe the exception of Alice, who showed up for like 6 seconds.
Who the fuck is Alice?
Good question. She's Alice.
You haven't seen Tamer, so you should probably watch Tamers.
I should watch Tamers. There's so much I should watch.
So what I was gonna say is, I mean, yeah, because we talked about in the last episode that Petermon kind of made their own like pseudo-digital world space, and so like maybe some Digimon can just do that. Maybe like the DVs just like have an easier time of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the evolution has an easier time. Although, like, Digimon continue again and again to be surprised by the fact that they like de-Digivolve. Like, they go back to their rookie forms, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, for sure.
So that's going to be like unusual, and that's why I was asking if like the Digimon that evolved in the Never Everland, like if they just stay as their adult forms, or if they like will revert to, or like was it just like, oh, they were encouraged a little sooner, but it wasn't like a back and forth like the Digivices do, you know?
Yeah.
I assumed they wouldn't devolve, because usually when they devolve it happens immediately after the battle, and in this case we didn't see anyone change back.
Yeah.
It does seem to be kind of ambiguous to me, and I would love to get like follow-up and clarification on that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's my biggest question right now is like, how much of it is that? How much does the Digivices help? And like kind of, you know, we don't know exactly where the Digivices came from. Like we know Hakoto, like, he gave it to them, but, like, did he make them? Did he find them?
Yeah.
Did he, you know, are there a bunch of them? Are there, like, more than 3 and he only had 3? Like, I think a lot of these questions will be answered by the show later on, at least, like, as far as, like, where the Digivices came from. Like, I don't know if everything we're asking here will be answered, but I feel like at least that one will be.
I feel like this episode answers the question of how many are in use, at the very least.
Yeah, that's true.
Ghost Game is certainly dropping a lot of little mysteries in our laps.
I like it, because so far they've been following through on, like, some little hints. So this makes me feel like if they gave me, like, this little thing of the Digimon evolved without a Digivice, that I'm gonna get follow-up on that somehow.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's gonna keep me going.
Yeah, actually the way it's structured, I think lends itself really well to just like a 1 episode a week format, because, it gives you time to like ruminate and speculate on everything that's going on.
Yeah, I think I like this kind of like how there's a monster of the week, but there is still like overarching like things to think about, but I won't get lost because I think a lot of shows are created nowadays to be like kind of binged all at once, because of how things are dropped, because of how streaming services work. So I think it's interesting that despite that, Digimon is still like, nope, we're going to make it so these can be caught whenever if you would like to, or they can be watched all at once. Like, you can do it either way instead.
And I think it's doing like a banger job with the episodic formula. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it works for it. I think that works pretty well for like, especially a show aimed, towards kids too, because they're not probably going to catch every single episode all the time as often. Like, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but
yeah, a discussion we were actually having in the spoiler channel is like, I've seen a lot of people like criticizing this show for not having enough of an overarching plot, and I don't agree with that. I think it definitely does have overarching plot. It's just done more in the style of a mystery series rather than an adventure series, It's instead of like showing its hand, it's just giving us a bunch of things to wonder about and speculate on.
Yeah, like if this goes the way I hope it will, at the end of it, in the last episode, or maybe the second to last episode, I'm gonna be like, oh, that goes back to like one of the first episodes that we saw, because they said that, and that's gonna be great. I love that shit, because it ups the rewatchability for me.
I like that it's doing that without being like obtuse about it, because that's another thing that a lot of shows do now, especially after the whole like Lost thing, where like things being like seeded early on is great, but it shouldn't be so like, for a show like this at least, it shouldn't be so inexplicable or like up to like, it should be easier to piece together than that would be.
Yeah, I feel like if you miss a hint, it's not the worst thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Speaking to Lost, I haven't seen that show, but my understanding of it is that it sort of poses a lot of questions to the audience that it doesn't necessarily have answers for, and that sounds like it would be...
The thing about Lost is, even if you saw it, no, you didn't. You didn't see anything. You didn't understand anything. You didn't see anything. You don't know shit.
You're a lot, and I guess I was trying not to. It's more that I've also
everything mattered in Lost. You had to have every single clue, and you had to piece it together, and you had to figure it out. Whereas I feel like here, if I missed an episode because I couldn't watch it that week, and I just jumped in next week, I would get another hint, and that would be enough for this mystery to be satisfying to me.
Yeah, I was like, I think it can work. It just, I don't think it would work for this kind of show, and so it's not doing it, and that's good, and that's fine. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah, this show really knows what it's trying to be.
Sorry, I was comparing Digimon to Lost.
We should compare more things to Lost so that people remember that Lost was in many ways...
Hey Elvira, I have a podcast for you to listen to where Homestuck gets compared to Lost.
I Lost did something to my brain, and I don't think I will ever recover from that.
Fair enough.
Okay, but
I will definitely have some things to say about clues and mysteries at the end of this episode. Namely that one of my theories is definitely a little closer to getting confirmed now. But before we get to that, I also wanted to quickly cover the Digicon or the Digimon Con stream that happened yesterday.
Entirely while I was asleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the most exciting announcements out of that is that we got a bunch of updates on Digimon Survive.
Oh, nice.
We got some development updates, namely that, they're still not ready to announce a launch date or anything. It's still in development and, like, being tweaked and, not in its final stages yet, but apparently the reason there's been no news for so long is that they changed development teams midway through and
as
ended up having to rework most of the game, as you do, yeah.
So it's going to look completely different from what we've seen so far, probably.
Oh, yeah. No, they showed some gameplay footage, and it does.
I still need to look it up, but I'm excited for that.
Yeah, what we did see looks really interesting. It's definitely leading into darker themes. It does have character permadeath and is also like definite. It.
Am I going to be playing like a Fire Emblem Digimon?
Yes.
Nice.
And yeah, it also sounds like it's leaning into some angstier themes.
It's going to have Dimitri. I love it.
Yeah, and sort of using Digimon as sort of like, externalizations of the partners and making and it sounds like it might be showing some darker sides to that. So give me that angsty shit.
Have they given up on being...
Slap it down on a plate so I can eat it all up.
Have they given up on being like a youth-oriented fandom? And are they just gonna keep what they have now in terms of fans?
It seems like it.
Good choice. I love being catered to.
They also did say that there is a new Digimon story game in early development, so it won't be a sequel to the Cyber Sleuth series, but it will be that same style of Monster Collecto turn-based RPG, which I'm super into.
In terms of games, I actually hate it when games follow each other up, because it forces me to buy multiple games, and if I missed out on a console, or I just didn't buy the game, I don't get the full experience. So hell yeah, sign me the fuck up for something that is unrelated, even though I did play the first game in this case.
Yeah. Yeah, seems like that's their sort of bid to grab a newer audience, because they did say that one would be geared at a more all ages audience.
I hope they make the gameplay make more sense, so that I don't fail in the first stages, because I don't realize I can take stronger Digimon with me by using the level up things that I get. God, I struggled in the beginning of Cyber Sleuth.
Oh no. Yeah, and then the other sort of big announcement out of that, which I actually did not catch because I had to go to work. But they're doing a dub of Adventure 2020, which I never thought would happen, because while the series was airing, there was just like no news whatsoever of it. But yeah, no, now it seems like that's a thing. And people on the Discord are excited about some of the casting announcements. I know I probably won't be watching it, but I think the interesting thing about that is that maybe it'll open the door for some other Digimon series to get dubbed. Who knows?
Maybe if more Digimon gets dubbed, more people will believe me when I say Digimon is good.
When did it stop being dubbed? Like, when did it... What's the most recent, like, is it like
it's
Data Squad or whatever?
They dubbed like the first 2 arcs of Digimon Cross Wars, but then they didn't come back for Young Hunters. So
damn.
So yeah, they didn't dub like a third of Cross Wars. They didn't dub Appmon. They're not dubbing Ghost Game. But they did dub everything adventure related. So they, dubbed Tri and Kizuna, even though those came out more recently.
Yeah.
I hope it's not just adventure only that they're dubbing. I hope we get, well, It does seem like it's probably way too late for a Nap Monsters dub. That was 2016, which is so fucking long ago, but I don't know.
I don't know, what's the oldest thing that ever got a new dub? That's kind of interesting to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, they redubbed they redubbed some stuff. They redubbed Evangelion. I'm pretty sure Funimation, like, redubbed, like, old One Piece to make it not for kidsy.
Are people still watching that? It's so long.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I watched One Piece when I was young, years ago.
People love that shit. People are keeping up with it.
I have nothing but respect for people who can keep up with a show that long.
I mean, if you've watched the first 900 episodes,
oh my god,
you may as well just
you're in too deep.
Down another 100.
You can't stop at that point.
Yeah, but those are the announcements. There was also stuff like some product announcements and a live Vital Bracelet raid battle and a card tournament and some live performances. But yeah, that's sort of the notable announcements that I'm aware of. Like I said, I had to stop watching it partway through, but
yeah, I just
I'll probably catch up on the rest of it sometime when I have a chance.
Yeah.
Okay, so 20 minutes into the podcast, want to talk about the episode?
Maybe.
Yeah, yes. Definitely, because it's a good episode. They're all good episodes, but this was a really good episode.
Elvir said that they're on vacation this week, so I was like, okay, we can run a little late today.
Yeah, we can run late. I'm on vacation, so that means that I don't have to sleep, obviously.
Yeah, that's what it means.
That's what that means.
Who needs sleep when you're on island time?
So true. Or you just constantly sleep. You're just always asleep.
Yeah. One of the two. It's like having bipolar.
God.
Anyway, this episode was called The Witching Hour.
Yeah, and it fucking opens up with a motherfucker talking backwards. Like, that's what my notes say. This MF talking backwards.
It's backwards! I didn't realize that.
I was like, well, it sure sounded like they were talking backwards to me. And I'm like,
that would make so much sense.
Listen, I don't know Japanese, but I do know what the sound of backwards talking sounds like.
Yeah, so we start off with this ordinary adult man. He looks like he's getting groceries or something. He's on the phone. And the thing about him is that, he's not just an ordinary guy going about his day and doing normal things. He's probably a guy who's not having fun and is lost and definitely wants to go somewhere else right now. Yeah, that sounds reasonable and correct.
That's the monkey spa. No, there's no monkey spa because he definitely didn't wish for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did not wish for this.
It's like the monkey spa just curled in up on itself without anyone giving any indication.
Yeah. Self-curling monkey paw.
The world is so efficient these days.
Yeah, it's like YouTube autoplay. It works based on an algorithm.
And it works perfectly.
It works perfectly.
I always have fun with the new video that YouTube suggests for me.
It plays like 4 ads in between each finger.
Oh my god.
Oh, horrible concept. Absolutely amazing.
God, I love capitalism.
But yeah, this man's like, what? I'm not bored. What are you talking about? But the creepy voice just goes like, no. You could do better. You could have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, it was really like, oh, I'll send you somewhere fun. And like, I'm going to have some fun. And it's a nice build up from, I'm doing this for you to, no, I'm just doing this because I'm a sicko.
Yeah.
I'm just a sicko, is what this...
This creature knows it, okay? He's at some level aware that he's a sicko.
Yeah, it's definitely a twist on, like, something we've seen before in Ghost Game where, usually you have, like, a well-meaning Digimon who, like, just wants to make friends or something, but, doesn't have enough context to actually, like, engage helpfully and ends up scaring people. No, this guy is totally self-interested. He's just sending people to the Shadow Realm for fun because he thinks it'll be good for him.
Seto Kaiba would love this dude.
But he's also like, well, they're obviously having fun because I have fun. I don't even need to ask them because it's obviously a good thing to be sent into different times because I love to do it.
This is your mom forcing you to do some kind of hobby and being like, it's fun. You love doing sports. Enjoy it. Like, yeah, I do. Thanks. I will. And you just wait.
How would you like to play baseball for 2 years and not enjoy it at all?
Yes, please. Thank you.
But yeah, so this man just disappears, basically. That's what happens.
He's gone.
We know that he got sent somewhere, but we have no further information.
Nope.
And after this very scary build-up, because it was really good. It was impressive. We get the cutest shit ever, as we always do when Gamamon is on screen.
So true.
Gamamon,
his first errand.
He's doing errands.
He's running his first errand by himself. We love that for him.
And Hero's so stressed about it.
Yeah, Hero is like, remember to stay away from busy streets, remember what to say when you go up to the counter, here's the money, here's the map, if you need anything, please call for me.
But you won't be there, right?
Remember, you're a hologram, call the champion chocolate so they know what you're saying. The candy store person already knows that you're a hologram. Shout out for me. Don't worry, I'll come. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. He has a little backpack around his neck.
Backpack for his applesauce.
Which I assume is where he has to carry things in.
Ghost Game does like to do a bunch of these nice little setup payoffs, so Gamamon calling out for Hero is a secret tool that'll help us later. It is. I just love that Hero is he wants Gamamon to do this. He believes him in, but also he had all his friends stationed along the way.
He's
so that Gamamon at no point during this errand would be unsupervised.
Yeah.
He's so stressed the whole time. He's like, I want my boy to be able to do something by himself, but I'm so nervous.
Yeah. So Gamamon goes off, then we cut to Ruli and Angoramon. Ruli, mentions the errand to Angoramon and says it was her idea because, Gamamon was talking about wanting to, get out of the house and do things on his own. So yeah, they're looking at the sunset because it's twilight hours. It's Edward and Bella over here.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
They're just there in the background.
It's the witching hour. And Goramon is like, I read a historical book about this time. It's pretty cool. It's called The Witching Hour, and he starts talking. However, when he's talking, occasionally, it seems like something's talking over him occasionally. Very weird.
Yeah, he's kind of like fading in and out, sort of like a radio. Yeah. Like a radio is sort of getting tuned.
He's like, and then there was this, and then of course except the noise was creepy voice.
Yeah, it's real distorted and weird, and Ruli is freaking out about this.
And then Gormon doesn't notice it at first. He's just talking and looking at the beautiful sunset.
He's too wrapped up in talking about his story.
We do know that Angoramon loves books. He's always reading his damn book.
You love reading.
See, and when you have your nose in books, your friends disappear.
Oh, no.
Reading is bad for you.
Reading is bad for you. That's the stance.
Reading is bad. Never do it.
That's the moral of this story. Never read.
Yeah, you should be illiterate.
I say as I'm reading the subs to this fucking episode. So, like, and Goromon realizes, I guess, that Ruli's, like, not responding to him, and he's like, what the fuck? And, like, notices that, like, those rings that appeared around that guy earlier appeared around her. Like, you know, the Digimon is doing something fucked up rings.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, those are the correctors.
And she fucking disappears. She's gone.
She's gone.
And Goromon freaks out, of course, because what the fuck? He just saw...
Which is weird, because obviously Ruli is just going to have some fun.
She's just having some fun.
She's on vacation now.
She's on island time.
Yeah, and she doesn't have to
sleep.
She
doesn't have to sleep.
Then we cut to a couple of clowns being the most helpful. It's Jellymon and Kiyoshiro, and they are also following Gammamon, just poised to help him anytime he needs it.
I love that Kiyoshiro's like, how did we get roped into this? And Jellymon's like, well, if we do this, then Hero will owe us a favor, obviously.
She's a businesswoman. This is a deal. She's going to cash in on this.
Yeah. I also think it is sort of like a nice parallel with Piccolomon in this episode, because, you know, Jellymon is, you know, wanting to help Gammamon with, like, a self-interested motive in mind, but we also know that she really does care about Gammamon and probably does want to see him, like, do good on this errand.
Yeah, of course. It's just...
Yeah, except for the part where she says this is going very easy. Maybe we should scare him a little.
she does get a little carried away. I'll give you that.
She has no impulse control.
This is going too
of course
smoothly. Not. We gotta fuck it up a little bit. Just for fun.
Yeah.
Just for pranks.
Yeah.
Don't worry, she doesn't actually have to do anything to fuck shit up because other things go wrong instead, though.
Yeah, because, before that happens, we do see Hero. He's, he's keeping an eye on Gammamon.
He's also following. They're both following. I love that. Yeah. He's like, it can't just be me. It needs to be, like, a whole crew of people following Gammamon, making sure he's doing it right. I'm sure if
my baby must be protected.
I'm sure if Ruli wasn't busy going to, like, cram school, we find out later that's what she was doing. She would also be following Gammamon. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just, she can't. She's, and
how the heck does Ruli have time for cram school and practicing piano and hanging out with her friends and doing Digimon stuff?
You're gonna fucking crash. Like, hello?
She's like 5 different people.
You need to calm down. But, like, I'm also like, damn, if only I had that much motivation.
Some people have a lot of energy. I remember being young and having a lot of energy.
I don't.
I had too many hobbies, too many damn hobbies, and now I have none.
It'd be like that. I just kind of...
No, I am a podcaster. That counts as
That's
a hobby.
Hell yeah.
It's a hobby.
Absolutely.
Like, I get it. When I was young, I also filled up every single free moment that I had with activities.
Sounds exhausting.
Yeah, it was, but I also didn't sleep back when I was younger. I had issues.
I didn't sleep for others.
So I'm assuming that Ruli isn't sleeping and that we're going to have a fun little episode about Ruli and her depression that she's clearly going to be having.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah.
She's definitely... Yeah, no. We're just waiting for these kids to all burn out and just have to lie down for like 5 episodes.
God.
It'd be the most relatable thing, and I'd salute them for it.
Yeah. Yeah, after the next Gulu-Scamamon appearance, we just get everyone fucking napping for like an entire core.
God.
And we'd still talk about it for an hour because we'd be so into it.
But like, finally, these motherfuckers get a break.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen to me after the next Gulu-Scamamon episode. I'm just gonna need to lie down.
It's fine.
Yeah, just a little self-care nap.
Yeah.
Of like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just a short little 72-hour nap.
He'll be right.
Just clock out of existence for a bit. Normal shit.
Anyway, so Hiro disappears.
Yeah, Hiro disappears while he's looking at his boy. And of course, yeah, no one's around to notice him disappearing. It's fucked up. But, he and Ruli seem to be in, like, very different places, even though it's sunset where they both are. It's, like, this overpowering, like, very bright sunset, though. It's, like, kind of, like, weird.
Yeah.
On purpose.
It's definitely sort of weirdly hypersaturated.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
It's got a little bit of that surreal going on. Speaking of surreal, they're also surrounded by spooky shadow people who talk in garbled radio voices.
They're like static shadow people. I'm like, this is some creepypasta shit. This is something you would listen to and be like, oh, that was an episode of the Magnus Archives. I see.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was like really surprised.
Oh, I read this one on a no sleep forum. That's the kind of vibe I got from it.
Yeah, but you know,
amazing vibes. You love to see it,
but like applied better than a lot of no sleep stories. Anyway,
yeah.
I don't go there for the well-written, good build-ups. I go for the good ideas.
True, fair, yeah. But, yeah, I was like, oh, God.
Yeah. Also,
I should say, when one particular shadow shows up, which will be important later, I wrote down Tristan, because I already had Yu-Gi-Oh! In my head, because of the Shadow Realm reference, and I think the outline of the shadow was very Tristan-like, and I think that's funny because I also think Tristan should get himself a different personality.
Wow, so true.
I'm not saying he should steal one from someone else, but he should maybe consider it.
He should consider it.
So Tristan's here. He's just like sort of standing and looking at Hiro. That's fine, and making weird distorted noises. It's, you know, like you do, like Tristan from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
like Tristan
exactly
from
like
Yu-Gi-Oh.
that.
This is just the Shadow Realm. This is just hell, because that is what Shadow Realm is in the original Japanese. It's just hell.
Yeah, they just died. It's the funniest thing.
You can't say hell in 4Kids, man. What?
Yeah, we get just this creepy thing, and then it immediately goes back to... So both Hiro and Ruli notice a shadow looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of react, and then we immediately go back to Kyoshiro, I think.
Also, we do get a cut where we see Hiro's feet are also just turning black and silhouetted, so that's fine.
I don't think we see that yet.
I think we do, because I have it here in my notes. You know, just like right after the guy stares at him, we get that cut where we see Hiro's feet starting to fade out.
I did not notice somehow.
I also didn't notice that it already happened. I thought the real stakes happened way later, but that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
It would fit in with how fast-paced all these episodes are.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So then we cut back to Gamamon. He's sort of looking at the map confusedly. Jellymon is like, all right, now's our chance. He's totally lost. He's about to fucking cry right now.
I like that Kirshiro's like, dude, he went the wrong way. Fuck. He like turned the map around. And then, yeah, Jellymon's like, let's do it. And then, Pink Fluff...
Jellymon is ready to go.
he can't ask someone else for help, because then he won't owe us.
Yeah.
That's her main motivation to start running.
And because he runs into another Digimon, this pink fluffy guy that we haven't seen before, who Emery already said was Piccolomon.
Yeah. Except the fucking subtitle calls them Piccolomon.
I wrote down Piccolomon. I thought that was his name. I love it.
I thought that was his name too. I was like, I think this is Piximon in like English, but
yeah,
Piccolomon, sure, but no, it's Piccolomon.
Officially, it's Piccolomon. That's the name you get in, like, the reference book and, like, the official sources. But apparently I did not know this. I learned this on Lost in Translation Mon. But apparently Picklemon is, like, an old, incorrect, transliteration that, like, ended up in one of the early games, I think.
Really?
And I guess has just, like, stuck around. So that's stupid. That sucks.
I swear he's called Piximon in something that I've seen, though, too.
Yeah, he's called Piximon in the dub, but just, like, because terminology kind of gets inconsistent between, like, the games and the VPETs and you know, the anime sometimes. It just ended up as Picklemon in one of them.
He's very small, he's very cute, he's very evil.
Oh, super evil.
He's such a little fucker.
A sicko.
He's a sicko. I thought at first, I was like, why'd they use this little guy as, like, it kind of, like, was funny, because, like, that on top of, like, how Jelly wanted Kirishiro acting, I was like, it's kind of a funny little, tension breaker, but like he's kind of a sicko about it, even though he looks like cute and small.
He looks cute and so he likes to commit murder.
Jelly,
that's just.
But as Elvira said, Jellymon's like, no, we gotta help him out if he needs directions, not you. Fuck you. And she like flies out and is like, hey. And Kirishio's like, no, we're gonna ruin this fucking... what was I gonna say? This, like, sham of a...
Yeah.
Yeah, they failed at the surveillance mission. The stealth part just didn't work out.
Yeah. Yeah, Jellymon is just like, hey, no getting help from strangers. You have to turn to me for help and owe me a favor.
She's not like, I thought she was gonna be like, stranger danger. But then Piccolomon, I'm gonna have a hard time remembering that's his name.
I'm just gonna call him Picklemon. I'm sorry, he's gonna have to go through the identity crisis.
Picklemon is funny.
Picklemon is just like, oh, cool. I don't have to, like, fuck around with Gammamon here to figure out where the human that I need is left. That was a weird sentence. Because he was actually looking for Kirishiro.
And Kirishiro looks around like, oh, where's that other human he could be meaning?
He's like, oh no, it's me. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so Piccolomon says, like, you know, basically explains that, like, you know, he sent the other two kids with bracelets to go have fun in another world. And, you know, once they're done having fun and they've had a super good time and they love it so much, they'll be so happy that they'll return the favor by giving their bracelets to him.
Yeah,
so
what the fuck is this plan, dude? And I don't know. Doesn't Angoramon show up too?
Yeah, this is where Angoramon shows up, and Angoramon is like, hey, this dude kidnaps people and sends them to other worlds, and that's what happens to Hiro and Ruli. Hey, guess what, dude? People don't like it when you send them to the Shadow Realm, and Piccolomon says, I don't know, dude, sounds fake.
It's good, actually.
I think Piccolo says, like, they're having fun, yelling and crying, and it's like,
I don't know if you know what crying is. I don't think it's a good thing.
Something's wrong there. He's a sicko.
Yeah, this is another sort of interesting subversion of the, formula we've gotten in previous episodes where it's like, usually you just kind of have to explain, like, context and people's feelings to the Digimon, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, I understand now. But no, this dude is, like, stubbornly just a little fucker about it. He's just like, no, people like it when I do bad things. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's good when I fuck up.
He would play that, what's it called? That theme park simulator game, and he would make his theme park so that everybody dies when they go on the rides.
Yeah.
But they would all crash in the nearby theme park, so his numbers would go up. So clearly everyone is having fun.
Yeah. And, Piccolo-mon also says, like, oh, even if they don't like it at first, everyone always just, like, gets used to it and starts to blend in to the time period and, learns to have fun and enjoy it. And, and then we cut to the kids in their respective shadow realms, and like they're just being followed and just like slowly turning into shadows themselves.
While the shadows slowly turn into them.
Yeah, we see the fucking faces on the two shadows, and like they each have like a fucking patch of their face just like mirroring Hiro and Ruli's face. It's fucked.
Oh, they also like, this is just a little thing, but Ruli and Hiro like realize they're in a different time because like Hiro like realizes it's the old like station, Sujuku station. And I think Ruli sees something that's old, like I mean, this doesn't really matter. I just think it's, like, that happens, like, he sees the station, and then the shadow appears behind him, and he's just like, oh god, like, how do you even, like, respond to, like, yourself being there? What I thought it was, before, like, the fucking shadows attacked them, I was like, oh, maybe this is, like, them in the past, like, looking at their future selves, kind of, but, like, no, this is a doppelganger, straight up, because they try to kill the other one. This is fighting your fucking doppelganger in the Walmart parking lot. Like, fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, so apparently, like, they're just, like, they've just been transported to the past, and being in the past just turns you into a fucked up shadow guy. I guess that's just a thing.
I think that's why I was trying to rationalize it to myself with like, oh, this is their past selves. Because like, why do they have a doppelganger? Why do they get like fucking killed by their doppelganger?
Yeah, none of it is, like, really explained, which just kind of makes it spookier.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if all the other shadows that we saw were just people who got stuck there.
Yeah.
Maybe. Could be, Elvier.
And then I assume, of course, that the doppelganger goes back in their stead.
Oh.
That's what I assumed. I know this isn't at all what happens in the episode, but I was like, you know what would make this more fucked up?
Oh, that would be. It would be fucked up.
We don't see it not happen, like, it's one of those things where it's like, we don't see what happens before we see Hiro.
I don't know if you noticed it, but you know who we don't see anymore? That's the dude who disappears in the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean,
supposedly
it gets resolved at the end. Supposedly. But we don't know that for sure.
I think he did.
He might be dead.
He's probably dead.
Yeah, fucking Hiro gets fucking choked out by his doppelganger. It's kind of a lot. This child...
Yeah, it's a pretty aggressive fight.
This child is fucking fighting off his doppelganger, and then Ruli's getting chased down. Like, she kind of, like, instinctively is like, I should not be facing this shadow creature that looks like me. It's bad, and I'm gonna run away. Because she's, I don't know, got her wits about her still, I guess.
Yeah, I also make a point in my notes that the sound design in this episode is really good because, like, when we see close-ups of, the two shadows that are following our protagonists, they're just making noises. They're just sort of vibrating in the background and sounding real fucked about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's why I got like Magus Archive vibes, you know? I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the doppelganger just straight up attacks Hero, like, and by this time it's like fully copied his face. It's got a fucked up smile on it. It looks
The smile was
bad.
Oh, the smile was so upsetting.
His limbs
It didn't
it
didn't fit his face. I hated it on Hero.
I was like, that's not what Hero looks like. No.
No.
His limbs are disappearing. Everything's becoming shadow.
Yeah, also both of the shadows had completely different silhouettes before, but now they just look like the kids in silhouette, so
Yeah.
they're completely changing shape to match the ones that they're following.
Fuck.
It's bad.
It's like they know.
It's
Like
good,
they're
though.
like, oh, if I take you over, I can go back to the other world. Or something. Like,
Yeah, like the shadows never actually speak, so we don't know, like, we can only guess, we can only assume.
We can only make it worse.
Yeah.
like, who are these shadows and why can Piccolomon do this? We never find this out. Like, we just know he can do
We
it.
never know. We just know that it happens and it's fucked up.
Like, okay, I guess that's just a thing. This is perfectly normal Digimon.
It's normal.
Very normal. And then I think we cut back, like in the middle of that fight, while Hero is obviously losing. I think we cut back to where Gamamon
Yes.
and everyone else is.
Yeah, I think this is where Jellymon, like, grabs Gamamon by the face and is like, Hero and Ruli are gone, we gotta do something.
Jellymon said, oh, Hero could be gone forever. And I was like, oh my god, Gamamon's gonna fucking appear. Jellymon, what did you do?
I also thought
Once
that was
again.
gonna be it.
Once again, Gulus Gamamon is just like this constant source of tension that's like, oh no, oh, is our boy gonna go sicko mode?
He does not.
It was
But
really
so
upsetting though, because
Yeah.
my heart broke when he was like, Hero disappeared?
Yeah.
Ugh.
poor baby.
Oh, and he's like, no, I'm gonna shout for him because he promised that he would come if I shout for him. So he will shout for me if he needs me. It was amazing. It was so good, but oh god, I was so close to tears.
Yeah, as Hero is just like getting choked out by his shadow, and the shadow has like almost completely copied him, and Hero has almost completely, become a shadow. For the first time in his life, he asks for help. He calls out for Gamamon, and his Digivice starts glowing, and it makes a portal.
Yes, and Gamamon's glowing.
And everyone just jumps through. I thought only Gamamon was gonna go, so it was really
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
weird that everyone else just jumped up and Gormon like grabs Kyoshiro.
Everyone just follows that boy.
God, I wish that were me.
They follow glowing Gamamon through the fucking time portal, and they appear next to where, like, I think before they show up, the two, heroes, stop fighting, so we don't see, who's on top, right? Is that what ends up
Yeah.
happening?
No,
I think that's important, because then they're, I feel like it would be a lot more, fucking weird if they had seen, what they thought was Hero choking out a shadow. I don't know. But they're just...
Yeah, so...
That
yeah.
would have been a dead giveaway.
Maybe.
They've disengaged now because, they've totally switched places.
Mm-hmm.
Hero's a shadow now, and the other guy is Hero.
And Gormon even says, hey, what's that shadow?
What's that shadow pointing at what used to be Hero?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, we should take care of the shadow and get Hero away from it. Except Gamamon, who goes towards the shadow and jumps up into its arms, and they hug. And it's Hiro, and he's fine. He's good.
Yeah.
He knew.
It's good.
He knew it was Hiro.
Absolutely amazing.
And then...
This is peak cinema.
Exactly. Everyone needs to take note of this in their movie classes.
Gamamon, a noted aficionado of vibes, immediately recognized Hiro on vibes alone.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And yeah.
And his hug cures it, and I love that.
The hug cures it. And then the chef...
Again, we have no idea why. It just works.
It just works. And then the other hero, like, disappears, is just, like, angrily, like, disappears. And they're like, oh, shit. Gamamon knew.
Getting hugged by Gamamon would fix all your problems instantly.
So true.
And we shouldn't question it.
So true. It's funny to think about that, but
yeah, Ruli's still being consumed by her shadow, so that's normal.
It's good.
And then Piccolo shows up with Hero's group.
What is Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z?
And he's like, hey, no time traveling without permission. Who said you could do that?
And then he gets mad and, like, goes away, so he, like, doesn't help them find Ruli. And so, Angoromon, Ruli Ruli is, like, being, like, they cut to Ruli being chased down, and, like, she's still, like, disappearing into the shadow form, even though she's not being...
I think they fight first.
Oh, yeah. Like, she gets, like, cornered, and they fight. Is that what happens? And then...
No, I mean, like... doesn't Piccolomon fight?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
We get the Betel Gamamon and Tesla Jellymon evolutions. Yeah, and they both launch their attacks.
How could I forget this?
At Piccolomon.
They do a team attack. How could I forget that? Wow.
They do a team attack.
They do teamwork.
Because at first when they're all just trying to hit Piccolomon, like, because it's the two evolved Mons and Angoromon, it's like too strong. So, Betel Gamamon and Tesla Jellymon, like, do a team attack where they, like, you can tell they've practiced this, or they just, like...
You can tell they worked it out beforehand, which is really nice. I love these two working together. Yeah. It's always so good.
Yeah.
They're friends. Yeah, so Gamamon, like, fires a sore shot, and then Jellymon hits it with a Punishune to give it extra momentum, and that, like, gives it enough force to, like, blast through Piccolomon's attack and hit him. And then Angoromon just, like, has to jump in and get, like, a final smack on him to knock him into the ground.
That was really cute.
Yeah. And this is when he's, like, mad. He's, like, I'm mad about it. And he's like, no, fuck you. Don't ruin my idea.
Yeah.
And then we cut to Ruli?
Yeah, Ruli's dying, and, as she's being, like, completely shadowfied, she calls out for Angoromon and creates another time portal. So everyone grabs onto Angoromon as he starts glowing, and they all get transported to Ruli. And
Angoromon hugs Shadow Ruli, because he knows that's the real Ruli, and it does the same thing, that, like, the fake Ruli disappears. And the real one, like, I don't know, sheds the shadows from their face. Like, I don't know how to explain it, other than, like, she's fine and good now.
And I assume the shadow just dies.
Probably.
Yeah.
So then Piccolomon shows up again, being like, God, I finally found you. Okay.
He's not happy.
Yeah, and then Angoromon evolves to Simbar Angoromon, but it doesn't matter because they don't actually get to fight. Piccolomon just says, okay, I don't want to deal with this. I'll just go back in time and kill you in the past.
Kill you as a baby.
Yeah.
It's the most, like, schoolyard comeback of "I'll make you wish you were never even born,"
but like for real.
But like for real.
Yeah. He goes back in time. They wait. They're just kind of standing there, like nervously, like what's gonna happen.
Yeah, because Piccolomon specifically calls out Gammamon and says, "I'll start with you."
Mm-hmm. Good thing he started with Gammamon.
Yeah.
Because,
what a choice.
just like a second later, he fucking comes back and he got his ass kicked. He's like fucking smoldering and beaten up, and it's like, what the fuck, dude? What are you?
What are you, you freak?
And then he does the normal thing and says, "I'm gonna look at your future."
Yeah.
Go to the future, see what's going on there.
And he comes back and he says, "We're besties."
We're best friends now. Oh my god, your future self is so cool. I want to be friends with you now.
That was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
He was like, "I got my ass beat."
It was...
And then he was like, "Oh no, wait, you're cool, actually."
Yeah, so Piccolomon is just like so fucking jazzed about future Gammamon. He's super excited about it. He's flying all around, and Hiro is like, "Hey, if we're friends now, could you return us to our normal timeline?" So that happens, and then
He also like asks for the other people to return to their normal timelines too, but that's when I was like, but what if he only returns the ones that look like that? You know, like, what if some of them are still doppelgangers?
I think the fact that we don't really see it means that these people are fucked.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
And, you know, and Jellymon, is like, "Hey, so you don't want the bracelets anymore?" And she grabs Kyoshiro's wrist to sort of gesture to his Digivice, and Kyoshiro gets sort of flustered about it. They're holding hands now, they're dating.
I held a girl's hand, does that mean we're married?
It does. Congratulations.
I saw that in the Discord. I did not see it in the episode somehow. But I saw you take a picture. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. It kind of goes by pretty quickly and, like, in the corner of the screen, so I only noticed it on my second watch, but yeah. Kyoshiro being funny about it.
It's so, like, ballsy for Ghost Game to be like, oh yeah, this evolution, you're all gonna love it, so we're just gonna be like, yeah, they're friends now, because you're gonna love it. It's that good, actually. I think that's very funny.
I think it also could mean that Gammamon turns into one hell of a fucked up thing, because once again, Piccolomon is a sicko.
True.
And who would he like?
True. But
think about that. Who would he like and respect so much?
True.
That he's going like this.
But he got the shit beat out of him when he saw what we think may be
yeah, and I think he enjoyed that. I genuinely think that he liked that. I believe that he was like, holy shit, this thing could beat me up. What else could he do?
He's like, damn, a sicko and a freak? I love that.
He didn't seem very happy the first time. That's the only reason I'm like, but you're right. He is kind of a sicko, so he might just like another sicko. Huh.
Yeah, I assume that this meant Gammamon was gonna go full on evil.
Oh no.
Okay, my thinking is that when Piccolomon, like, went back in time, he met Gulus Gammamon in, like...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think all three of us agree on that.
Yeah, which definitely contributes to my theory that, like, Gammamon was a villain before he met Hiro and then, like, had his timeline reversed. I think I'm getting more and more correct every day about that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, because this is a Digimon season, my thinking about Gammamon's future is that, you know, he goes fully good mode and gets, like, you know, a powerful evolution further down the line, and Piccolomon sees that and is like, oh, dope, this guy rules.
That's probably what's going to happen, but I like dark and edgy stuff, so I'm gonna hope
funny, though.
for more dark and edgy stuff.
Fair,
like, that's very funny. Like, just that he's gonna become, like, more evil in the future is very funny.
It would be funny if, like, just, like, sometime way down the line in late in the Digimon season, we do just, like, see Piccolomon pop up for a second, like a critical plot moment. That would be a nice little callback.
And he's like, oh, yes, it's gonna happen here, I think. And then he eats some popcorn.
He'd be out the window like, ha ha ha, yes.
The sicko, yeah, absolutely. It'd be funny if he, like, okay, here's a wild prediction that's probably not gonna happen, but, like, I'm gonna go for it anyway. What if he, like, was Gulu Scamamon in, like, in this future thing, but he, like, breaks out of it and, like, I don't know, remembers Hero or something, and he's like, no, I'm not this person anymore, and then he, like, fucking goes, like, superpower good mode, and he's like, power of friendship! So, like...
Yeah!
Oh, that's good.
That would be sick. I would love to see Gulu Scamamon learn about the power of friendship. That would kick ass for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then he, like, goes, like, ultimate or mega or whatever because he, like... I don't know at what point, the evolutions would be at this future point, but it'd be pretty fucking sick if he just was like, I can remember my past and do better! Ah! Friendship!
Yeah, oh... I love character growth so much.
You love it.
The opposite of darkness is love! I don't know. Fucking Kingdom Hearts ass.
Hell yeah. So yeah, the everyone's back in their normal timeline now. Gamamon completes his errand. We'd love to see it. He gets his chocolate.
Get it.
And now it's nighttime. Ruli is hugging Angoramon because, of course, me too. I would too.
Like, thank God it's nighttime. Oh,
yeah, thank God it's nighttime. I'm so glad that the witching hour is over.
Yeah, 4 books of Twilight is too much.
Yeah.
You started it, and I've been thinking about it the entire time. This entire episode, I've been thinking, God, Edward, Twilight.
I'm so sorry to have done that to you.
What if it was Twilight that Angoramon was reading, actually?
Ruli, I read an interesting book about vampires.
Ruli, I think I'm Team Jacob.
Oh, God.
Ruli, did you know that vampires sparkle? That's very interesting.
Really, don't read the last book. There's some weird pregnancy stuff, please.
I don't think I'm Team Jacob anymore, Ruli.
Ruli, I think these books might be bad.
I think these might be bad. But boy, there's something to them. And then Ruli's like, all right, I'm going to show you the movie. We got to watch the fucking baseball scene if you're gonna read all these books. And then he's like, this is the best movie that's ever existed, actually.
This is a life-changing experience. That is true. I'm also, now that I'm thinking about it, Kyoshiro probably likes Twilight.
Oh no.
I am just thinking about Jellymon. She would probably be like, Jellymon would be the one to be like, Bella has 2 hands.
So true. I could see Jellymon.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about cosplaying Kyoshiro and Jellymon in the Discord, like what they would cosplay as. And I was like, Jellymon would make an alright Alice, I think. From what I remember of this fucking... I've only seen the movies, so sorry if, like, I'm wrong. I also don't care.
I remember so little of it.
Yeah,
I definitely read all the books and I saw all the movies, but I just remembered the funny parts.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's the only thing that I needed. I regret seeing the last movie, but we all make mistakes.
I saw it in a stream, so everyone was like losing their fucking mind. It was pretty good.
It's also an experience, but like a bad one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I only saw the first movie, but like the Riff Tracks version of it.
No, nice.
Remember 2009?
No. I don't remember 2009.
Fair, valid. I only just remembered it now.
I remember too much of 2009. It fucking sucks.
I have no idea. Where was I in 2009? Like, the entirety of that year, where was I? I don't
Listening
know.
to the podcast Homestuck Made This World just reminds me of 2009 even more, so I'm just like, wow, that shit sucks.
I was late to Homestuck, so I didn't start reading that back then.
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
Yes, I am a late game Homestucker. I should have known better, but you know, there we are.
I've got a podcast for you to listen to.
I've got so many damn podcasts. They're all good.
Let's fucking end this, please.
Yeah.
We were talking about Twilight Homestuck. I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done. That is true.
Yeah. We do get Angoramon's line to close out the episode. He does say, you get bored of a beautiful sunset in 3 days. You get used to restless afternoons in 3 days. You can't enjoy one without the other. And, you know, Ruli is just like, you know, giving him a little hug, all snuggled up in his fur. And she says, I think I get it, probably.
I think she's lying, but whatever.
It is a nice little development of her always being, you know, always being like, what are you talking about, dude?
True. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's the episode. We kind of already did a segment at the beginning with our thoughts from last episode and the little news bit. So let's jump straight into our plugs.
Yeah.
I'll go first because mine are super short. I'm Elvire, and you can find me at Revue on Twitter. And that's it.
I'm Morg. You can find me at Haunting the Morg on Twitter. That's Haunting the MORG. You can also find me on my other podcasts. Departure Lounge is out there. You should listen to it even though it's on hiatus. But my active podcasts are Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast, and Forward ReZero, a ReZero rewatch podcast. We had put out I think the most recent episode was the live episode. It was really fun. It was really goofy. You should listen. Yeah.
Oh yeah, good episode.
Thank you.
All right, I'm Emery. I'm on For Affinity. My username is Space Robot. I got a whole little art gallery there. You can contact me about commissions at spacerobotart@gmail.com, or just hit me up on Discord if you know me there. I'm also on a podcast called Gone Will Hunting. It's also about Hunter x Hunter, and it's also on hiatus. All right, that's it for me. We have a Discord that's linked in the show notes. We mentioned it a couple times this episode. Go there if you want to join in on the conversation. We're on Twitter at DigiGhostGaze, and this is a NoiseSpace.xyz podcast. Hey, I've been listening to a podcast lately called Tuning Fork. They talk about, you know, albums that were, you know, significantly affected by either very high or very low pitchfork reviews, and, you know, sort of how, you know, how those reviews sort of fit into the cultural canon and whether they're right or opinionated and bad.
Yes, those are good. I'm a little behind on Tuning Fork, but man, their Lulu episode's really good.
Yeah. Oh, I did just, yeah, that's like episode 2. I've only listened to the first few episodes, but yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. I forget what I'm up to, but I have to think about it. But yeah, I agree. There's just a lot of good podcasts on there. Not the one that I mentioned, but other ones are. I think Noise Space does have its own Homestuck podcast. It's just on hiatus.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah, I think it's Hamsteak. Anyway.
Anyway.
I know Alex is very fun. Or, wait, no. That's a different. Sorry, I'm getting confused because there's Alex on the Lulu episode. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm getting confused. Elizabeth.
All right.
Is very funny.
Before we get too much more confused, we'll just say right now to all you poltergeists, ghouls, and non-boonaries,
Digimon is for the gays.
Goodbye, darlings.
Bye.